Hello and welcome back to the podcast, We Are Selling. My name's Lee Woodward, the creator of the Complete Salesperson course, and today's program is brought to you by Realtor, the home of pitch, sign and sell. And we are in part 2 of our program, Videos of Value. Clint joins me again. Clint, welcome back.
Great to be back.
We've had so much feedback of people thinking, I'm doing it wrong. I thought I just had to be popping and dancing and being seen, and maybe someone actually had those words of, I don't think people take me seriously as a professional real estate guidance person. I've just been out there dancing around. And when we look at videos of value, there was also the great feedback that these videos live on. They're not a one-off thing. So if anyone wants to, should you move or should you renovate, or they're an empty nester, a great video series at the moment would be the transition into a lifestyle village. There is so much with taxation, wills, what you need to do, and we know those properties are definitely coming on the market. And as everyone knows, last year Robin's mum's place hit the marketplace, and since then, unfortunately, she's passed away, and we're now going through that next part of that transition. But there is so much paperwork and things you need to know and find. There's no checklist for that one, but you imagine someone saying, okay, Nan or Granddad's got to go into a lifestyle village and we've got to take all these steps. Oh, I'm watching this great little video series at the moment and it gives you all the answers. That would be a video of value.
100% that'd be a video of value, but think of yourself as, if you're looking at that, why not create that checklist as a lead magnet so that as part of the video series you get a downloadable checklist for things that you may encounter when transitioning your parents to a home. So straight away you've added value to them. That's remembered when it comes time to sell that home.
This is so simple and powerful. And by the way, I've been doing this all my life in the way of, if I don't know something, I'll interview someone, listen to the interview back, and you get many things out of it. One, you've got the podcast, you've got the learn, but then you can actually document a checklist. So before everyone starts Googling a checklist written by somebody else that you can photocopy, that might be a guide, but go into the lifestyle village and do an interview on video as part of your series. Then go and see the financial planners who specialise in that part of financial planning and how they have to deal with the government bodies and what the laws are and what the super laws are, so that you can then suddenly be the authority, but you're learning, so that when you're in the lounge room you can say, oh, I interviewed the people from, and I also interviewed the financial planners. I'll shoot you the link for that. And people go, wow, you actually know what you're doing. Could you sell Mum's place? And that won't be because of fees or marketing. It would be because of your knowledge and how much you know.
Definitely, and that's where that whole value thing comes into it. You're providing value to the community, so the community is then respecting that and coming back. But what you've also done at the same time, and I'm not a crazy person on socials, I believe that video can be used in so many better ways, but at the same time you've also managed to then, if you provide that video to that accountant, to that lifestyle village, it gives them something that they share. So you've opened yourself up to their audience, and referral networks like that just becomes a pretty endless thing if you go down that funnel.
Clint, a lot of people ask me about this avatar stuff, and what's some of the thinking or rules behind that?
Look, the first thing that you've got to do with an avatar is go, okay, cool, that doesn't mean I'm not talking to anyone that doesn't fit that avatar. That just means that I'm creating marketing and assets that speak directly to that person. You can be doing exactly the same thing to another avatar, but it's the age-old thing of, if you aim to speak to everyone, you're just creating noise. No one's really listening. Whereas if you speak directly to that person, their pain points, their goals, whatever they have going on, it makes them listen.
It's interesting. We're not after likes, we're after followers. And if you want to be a leader, you need followers. This podcast is listened to all over the world, and I get wonderful messages at all different times of the day where they'll mention, I really loved the video interview, or I really loved this particular interview. And the interviews are genuine people to a genuine audience of the real estate and business professionals internationally, and we all have the same challenge. You've got to find, list and sell. So that international language and the followers that we have, and this particular podcast, 10,000 plus followers now, which has just been mind-blowing because this is our 96th week of doing the program, and having the podcast come out every Thursday at the same time. Obviously, internationally, it's different, but at the same time, internationally for them. The consistency of it, success is about consistency. Clint, you've seen this go wrong more than right. Take us into this.
My first question with anyone when I'm sitting down to start building video strategy plans for them is, how much time do you have to commit to this? Because if you don't have any time to commit to it and you aren't willing to commit that time on an ongoing basis, and that's why we build it as a 26-week plan, because it's a 6-month commitment of how much time you can give me each month to do that. And then we tailor the strategy from that. Because there's no point me creating this amazing documentary that's on YouTube with hopes of Netflix picking it up if you're going to give me 10 minutes a month. So it's just balancing that as to decide what it is. But you've got to look at it as, what can I maintain? Don't tell me you can give me 3 hours a month and you do that for the first month and then the next month you're busy. It's got to be set. It's got to be in your calendar and blocked out. And it's got to be treated as important. It's not a, oh my God, Joe from 27 Kalinda Drive wants to talk to me. I've got to drop everything. No, you've already got an appointment to speak to thousands of people, not to speak to one.
Clint, this speaking to a niche is so important, and today's program is our sales professional program, and we love our listener benefit and profiting from this knowledge. I've also been on Weekly, another weekly one, which is the Top 100 Business Stories of Charles Tarbey, and that's a different audience, and I get the most incredible text messages and phone calls, but they'll just say this, Lee, I just wanted you to know that I'm really enjoying the program. Now, Charles is a unique human that a lot of people didn't know, if that makes sense. And for Charles, at this part of his career, the intention's clear. It's not about franchising. He's not selling anything. The whole program's provided to the world as an asset on business leadership. But having that consistency, and I'm also on another private podcast for a company, so it's 3 podcasts a week that I'm committed to. But I can't say the difference between that and doing the monthly audio CDs that I did for 25 years. There is no comparison to the weekly commitment of my communications plan. But on the back of that, I don't have to do emails, I don't have to do ads. I just need to communicate, and people know what you do, and they'll decide if they want to engage you or not. But it means you're not shouting at the community anymore, you're servicing the community.
That's that value add again. Charles has got a very unique value to the industry that not a lot of people have, and not everyone is ready for. But that doesn't mean that what Charles is talking about this week, it might not resonate with you, but next week's one might. So it is about that timing again of making sure that if you've got consistency going and you're putting something out weekly, you didn't speak to that person that week, but you spoke to them the next week. If they've got to wait a month, you very fast get forgotten nowadays because it is an overwhelm of availability. Look, the Joe Rogan podcast is a great example. Before his Spotify deal, they were coming out fortnightly, they were coming out here, there, everywhere. Now, your podcast with him, it's 5 deep, fast, so it gets missed. So then it only does become those niches that are listening to it. So consistency is a big thing that keeps that audience there. Perfect example is Thursday mornings, I'm at the gym, I'm on the treadmill. I know what I'm listening to because it came out Wednesday night. So you start to build that culture of fitting into other aspects of their life, so it becomes a habit, not just something that they listen to.
I love what you just said. If you do it once a month, people have found 6 other people by the time you come back round. And I'll give you probably one of the best Australian examples of this point, and that would be Mark Novak for Novak Morning Minutes, which has now gone past 1,000 episodes. I'm actually appearing on Monday for Mark. But Mark every day is thinking, who's tomorrow? Who's tomorrow? Geez, Lee will do Monday. And he keeps it going, but what it's done for the business as their number one listing stream now, and because it is live and it is a bit crazy, but people like that too. It's not this predictable. The only thing that's predictable about that program is you never know what's going to happen. A little bit like an Aldi brochure.
It's exactly it. Look, Novak is an extreme example of video. They do everything. And they do it well. And I use them as examples when talking to clients when they go, well, how big can we go? Once again, how much time are you going to give me? But how many people do you have that will give you the time that Mark does consistently every day? They're pretty rare. But it's the rawness of what Mark does that really works. It's not just the, I don't know what I'm going to get today. It's Mark, once again, just being Mark and talking. So he becomes known, he becomes relatable, he becomes liked.
Mark said something to me one day that has just come into my mind now. He said, Lee, I've always worked hard. It's just never been documented. All he's doing is, every day, this is what I'm doing. I'm down at the shops at DY Beach. This building's coming for auction. It's got this tenant. They pay $250,000 a year. And what he's doing right now, which is really smart, and it's an efficient time thing, he'll do the video explainer of the property coming available, and then he does an update of it being sold, but it's the same video, technically, just with the update. But the same footage is just looping back over, or he's just saying, now it's sold, and that goes back through the original story. Yep. Clint, one of the video styles that I really like from the Elders Lifestyle Group is the property top 5. Just take us into that for those that haven't seen it.
The top 5 is very unique in, it's not a, oh my God, this is the top 5 I sold. This is the top 5 of what sold in the area. It might be John Smith that sold it. Congratulations, John. Well done on that sale. So you're giving your props to the people that sold it because they did the work. They deserve it. But it's what you give your spin on that sale. So I think that was a great sale because of a 2-bedroom in that area. That's amazing. So it just starts to establish that mindset of you're there to provide value.
I love this one because I dislike in the industry that we're all competitors versus colleagues. And as a real estate community, servicing the community, it's okay to share what's going on in the area because it doesn't matter who sold it. What matters is that the community understands the value. And these videos of value, I think we're starting to get really good understanding now of what's a genuine, mature, real, professional video, and then your TikTok stuff that you might be doing. Take us into the planning process. So, and I'm going to make an assumption now that our listeners made a commitment that, yes, I'm going to do a 26-week video plan. What would be involved in making that happen?
Look, the first step when we do it is we sit down and work out who they want to target with that. Because obviously, as we've said, it's very important to make sure that we're targeting the right people. But that's not just because of because of what they've got to say. It's also where you're looking at them. Where are they found? What are they searching? That kind of thing, so that you can actually target the distribution of it as well, not just target the content that you create. And it just creates that full overarching plan then.
Now, Clint, the name of your company says it all, My Video Producer. When you say the targeting, do you guys get involved? Like, I know you do the shooting, you do the editing, you add the music. And just for our listener, it doesn't have to be a full camera shoot. You can shoot this on your own phone and get it to yourselves. Or you can go the full shoot, but I know you've got members of mine in Perth that are about to start using the service, so they'll be doing the video footage, or there's a videographer over there, but getting it to you is where your team bring in the magic. What sort of time frame are they going to have to commit to each week, and would it be that they get 3 weeks ahead?
In certain scenarios, like if we're going to Perth to do one, which we've got coming up, we're going to actually film all 26 videos while we're there. So we'll go over, we'll create that agent profile video for them, and we've got ways that we extract the information from them to find out who they are, same as we have ways to target what avatar they should get. So we'll go over to that one, we'll film the agent profile video, we'll do all 26 videos, and they'll go on with their life. And they'll receive a month, 4 weeks, 4 videos every month, or 5 if it's that kind of month, to suit that next 26 weeks.
So all they do then is upload, target, send. Because it's got to come from their account.
Exactly. It's got to come from their account. Look, we've been asked a million times, can you manage our socials? It's not my lane. I do know about it, but it's not my lane. So I prefer to actually make sure I keep my videos on point and targeting people and their behaviours rather than how to post it. I can advise, not a problem, but It depends on what level we're working with people. There's always options to help them get started with that, or we can refer them to people that do social media management. But most people have someone doing it for them.
You've got to be your own mechanic and be managing that, because it's the continuous little, I can do one now, I could put this one up, and understanding that when you're in all these different locations in real estate and you're posting that quick video, it's being geotagged where you are, and that's what makes the area work for you. Because I know with Novaks, they just video in so many places all day, every day, that if you go into DY and search video, they're going to pop up in the feed because they've got the whole area covered.
Yep. And that's that thing. Like, that's where we work with agents on different levels. We've got everything from you can shoot a video on your phone and upload it into our portal, and it'll be back to you in 24 hours, edited and done. Now, everyone says, oh, there's apps for that. Look, there is. They're getting close. And in the day of AI, they're probably 6 to 12 months away from being right. But if you're a real estate agent that's having captions coming up on your video, and it's the wrong word and it's different things, what does that say about your brand? Oh, he's happy to let that go. I wonder what else they let go. So you've got to make sure that even though that's a raw video, that the rest of it's done right and polished, if that's the kind of clients that you're looking for.
Clint, our listeners, again, progressed their thinking and learning on this, and Perth's a good example. All 26 videos will be shot in the one go, once the avatar's been worked out, and that's going to determine the messages of the video. Take us into video messaging. It's probably one of the most important parts of the whole process. What do we need to know?
Well, look, in that scenario where we're going to Perth, we're actually writing the scripts. We're doing everything for that. So it's a complete service. So it's a come in, film, walk away. Obviously, they approve the scripts and we work together to make sure that it's in their words. Because no matter what, even with targeting, it's got to sound authentic from you. There's no point me making you say a word that you've never said in your life. You're going to trip over it. It's just not going to work. It's not going to sound authentic. So it is getting to know them for that. And then you start narrowing down onto, you start with your basics. What's their age, gender, marital status, that kind of thing. Then break it further down into what are their values? How much research have they already done on the market so that you know what level you're communicating with them at? Do you see them at open homes all the time so you know a little bit more about them? Do they prefer in-person interactions, or would they rather get an email from you? Different ways of looking at them. What are their goals? Like, is Betty selling her home to downsize because she's giving money to the kids? Is she doing it because she's just lonely in the house? It's understanding that stuff. And yeah, you're not going to get everything perfect, but if you can understand that, you can understand more of what they're thinking and start to understand the behaviours that they'll have.
Perfect. And when you meet the next Betty, one-off prospecting becomes a lot easier now. I went for a walk this morning and I prospect the whole time. I found a podcast leadership series that I appeared on called The Leadership Lounge, and it was purely for sales managers. I was walking along and I thought, who are 10 really good principal leaders, sales managers that would appreciate this particular video series? And the video series had Chris Hanley, Dane Atherton, all the famous people of the industry that I did over like a 10-year period. So audio is of value. I'm just realising these things. Actually, you're in the studio today and you can see all the famous artworks and albums. It doesn't matter when you listen to the Matt Steinway real estate system. That was recorded 20 years ago. And people go, I listened to that the other day and I got this out of it. And you think it's a value. It's not a in-the-moment thing. But as I was walking, I'm just texting and got the same link. This is a good one for your leadership team. This is a good one for your leadership team. And all the moments come back of, oh, thank you, love hearts and all this sort of stuff. In what you've just said then, I've just met a Betty, I'm going to shoot her this clip. I've just met a Betty, I'm going to shoot in this clip. And for one-to-one prospecting, video-based knowledge, and especially a video of value, could be the complete reason why you win the business.
Definitely. Look, personalised video and raw video like that is a massive part of marketing if I'm running the marketing on it. Because if I've got your phone number and two doors down sold at auction on the weekend, you're getting a text message video from me that afternoon going, don't know if you were out there, don't know if you saw it, sorry, I was busy with the buyers, but da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and tell them what happened. It only needs to be short, but you've personalised it to them. So you make sure you start that video with, g'day Matt, just letting you know Betty's house went through today and Tell them the basics. If you want to know any more, let me know.
Beautiful.
And you don't even need to add a call to action to those. Just add pure value.
Clint from My Video Producer, another great segment. We look forward to part 3 of the program, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.